unregulated campaign spending hurts women candidates. And I just want to start with a quote from a really nice report on political finance and gender equality by Lolita Sigani and Magnus Oman. And this is, I think, is really telling a quote. Quote, a survey of US state women legislators showed that they saw access to funding as the, quote, biggest barrier to running for higher office. And that, quote, money is a far greater obstacle for survey respondents than concerns about their personal backgrounds or private lives, feeling they are too old to run, having family and other commitments, or a dislike for negativity and competition. All of the other, that it was really access to money that mattered more than all of these other factors that are sometimes cited as reasons why women don't run for higher office. It's about the money. If you look at sort of the track record of women candidates and fundraising, what you discover right away is that, first of all, there's a lot of research that shows that donors are much more likely to give money to candidates of the same gender, right? So men give money to male candidates, women give money to female candidates. And there's also a lot of evidence that men donate significantly more to candidates and PACs than women do, and in general, and make much larger donations. This disparity, right, is especially pronounced among big money donors. So in the 2018 election cycle, some 1,810 male donors donated more than $100,000 to candidates and PACs, while only 710 female donors were in this category. If you go to the next highest category, donors that donate more than $1 million, you find that there's 121 male donors who donated that much, but just 32 women who did. And you can ask, well, why is this? Lots of the research, and again, I'm not a political scientist, I'm not an expert on campaign finance, but the research that I did look at suggests that the disparity is directly related to the gender pay gap, to the glass ceiling that shuts women out of the super highly compensated senior management positions. Those are the people who tend to make the $1 million or more contributions. Women are just in general underrepresented in the ranks of the very wealthy millionaires and billionaires. And so, they're going to be less likely to donate big dollar amounts. Here's just some, again, this is from Open Secrets, Center for Responsive Politics, just the breakdown of, by gender of the number of donors. You can see 62% of donors were male in the 2018 election cycle, 37.7% were women. The amounts contributed are even more disproportionate. Male donors contributed 70% of the contribution, 70.5%, whereas women contributed roughly 29.5%. NPR in 2018 did a fascinating analysis of how much money male and female candidates running as Democrats raised in competitive races. And what they found was that male candidates running in competitive races raised $500,000 more on average than female candidates running in similarly competitive races. And this is within the same party, right? Democratic candidates. So that's a real disparity, and it is a disparity that may explain, sort of different outcomes in success in the elections. Okay. Now, even though men and women candidates who get money from PACs receive similar amounts of donations. Remember, PACs can donate up to $5,000 to an individual candidate. Men get $3,631 on average, and women get $3,619. So it's more or less equal. But you get the total amount donated by gender, by PACs, was really unequal. So men got $39.3 million in PAC contributions, whereas women got only 14 million. And that disparity is present when you look at individual company PACs as well. So if you look at Google, you can see that 75% of the contributions of Google's political PAC went to men, only 25% to women. And same with Amazon, right? 75% of their PACs, the Amazon PAC's contributions went to men and only 25% to women. But I think these numbers don't tell the whole story. So these numbers, bad as they are, don't tell the whole story. Because of the Citizens United decision, I think the situation is even worse than the numbers I've just cited suggest. The figures for PACs and individual contributions that I've cited probably understate women candidates' financing disadvantage. Not only do women candidates raise less hard money and PAC money than male candidates, but women candidates face additional challenges due to super PAC and dark money expenditures. Why? Well, women candidates and elected officials tend to be overwhelmingly Democratic, disproportionately Democratic. And super PAC spending has historically has tilted to the right, has historically skewed to the right. Has favored Republicans and has favored conservatives. And if you see a super PAC funded ad on TV or online, chances are that ad will be attacking a candidate who is a Democrat and who has at least a 40% chance of being a woman, right? So I think super PAC spending disproportionately works against women. Dark money groups have historically been even more right-wing, even more pro-Republican than super PACs. So their spending, in all likelihood, hurts women running for office more than it helps them. Now, occasionally, dark money spending and super PAC money spending will help women. For example, I think it's helping Amy Coney Barrett right now, right? Dark money groups are spending lots and lots of money to make sure that she gets appointed to the Supreme Court and running all sorts of ads in favor of her. But that's a rare case.